Hey VC members, it's Matt and I'm back for a second video today. This one's also a contest entry and I hope that this one goes a little bit quicker than the one that I just uploaded here about 20-30 minutes ago, but I think I can do this one pretty quick. So this is Julian Lopez, who is celebrating reaching the milestone of 100 subscribers. So I was having a contest, and congratulations, Julian. I was not aware of your channel, but Metal Marquee, another guy that I'm subscribed to, I just saw where he uploaded a response to your contest, so followed that back to your channel and subscribed, and thought it was some fun questions that you asked. So basically what Julian wants you to do is he's got 5 questions, and you show an album, CD, or whatever to answer the questions. So let's just get right into it. Julian's, I was looking around, like I said, I just found your channel, kind of looking around at some of the older videos listed on your channel. Julian's heavy metal fan is what it looks like there. So I don't know that any of my stuff's going to fall in that category, but hopefully it'll all work out. So your first question was to show an album from your childhood days, something you were listening to when you were a little kid. Like I said many times before, I've got older brothers that are like 9 and 12 years older than me. I was born in '63, so they were sort of that age when the Beatles and the Rollins, all the '60s music was new. So I heard that stuff when I was a little kid, and that's the kind of music I love, but I didn't really tune into it and start getting into it till I was probably 8 or 9. But when I was a little kid, I remember hearing that stuff around. But one thing that came to mind, I remember having kids' music records and those little toy record players, you know, that your parents get you for Christmas or birthday. But Charlie Brown Christmas, which actually I loved Snoopy and Peanuts ever since I was a little bitty kid. I remember watching the Christmas and the Halloween special when I was a little bitty with my parents. Still watch them every year to this day. So I remember this songs from this Linus and Lucy, but this wasn't this album I got not too long ago, or I've had it for years. But I think this was a record store day, or maybe it was just a special on green vinyl. But I've had this album for a long time. But this isn't the one. There was a song "Snoopy and the Red Baron" by the Royal Guardsmen, which came out probably 65, 66 or so, and my mom or my dad bought me a copy of that album when I was a little bitty. Don't have it anymore. Wish I still did, but so you know, I was like three or so, and I remember having that, and I like the songs. I like Snoopy and stuff, so I remember playing that on my little Mickey Mouse record player, I think it was. An album that people would not expect you to have in your collection. Well, I like a whole lot of different stuff, so I don't know that anyone that knows me and knows most people that know me know that I love music and collecting albums, so I'm not really sure that anything would surprise anybody as far as the records I have. But I came up with actually 2 things, which is maybe so this is a soundtrack to a movie called Picnic that came out in I guess in the 50s. No, I did not pay $15 for this. I think I saw this movie somewhere way back there, but I can't really remember what it's about. I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere on the old movie channel or something. Basically the only reason I have this album, and to be honest, the album's in pretty good shape. It looks like it's an original, I guess. I don't think I've actually ever played this, but so a lot of people know that I'm into music and collecting records, and there's 2 ladies that are sisters that own an antique store that I know, and they get records in from time to time, and they'll call me up when they do, and I've picked up some things from them, but sometimes they'll just give me things, and this was in a group of albums that they just said you can have this if you have these if you want, and it's in pretty good shape. So like I said, I don't think I've ever played it. I ought to play it sometime, just see what it is. It's probably just I don't know if it's songs or just instrumental soundtrack film music, but anyway, the album was in good shape, and I just grabbed it with there was like 3 or 4 other albums in there. So I don't know. I've had that for a few years. I really love Halloween. Always have since I was a kid, and now. So I don't know if this is a huge surprise. It's not something that I listen to too often, but I usually drag it out each Halloween and play it. It's just those old. I remember when I was a kid having albums like this. I'd get at Mott's that are just Halloween sound effects and spooky, creaky sounds and so forth. So I picked this up a few years ago for $3.98, I guess, half price books. So I don't know if that's going to surprise anybody that I have those in my collection or not. But anyway, favorite live album. That's question number 3. And I like some. I'm not a huge fan of live albums, but there's a few that I like. But I think overall my favorite live album. Big soul music fan, and this is just a great, incredible album. Sam Cooke's one of my favorite singers, and so need to get this on vinyl, and I haven't gotten it yet. But either way, it's just top to bottom, front to back, great album, and fun, upbeat live album. Solo album by a person that was in a group and went solo. So I am going to say that the Beatles would be the obvious choice, but I don't. I'm not going to go with that just because it's too predictable, I guess. So I'm going to go "Empty Glass" by Pete Townsend, which is a great album from was this 1980? I think this is 1980, and I think this is actually better than stuff that the Who was doing at the time. This is probably my favorite album of his since "Sell Out" by the Who. So anyway, a great solo album. The solo albums that came after this were not as good, unfortunately. And I'll do 2 for solo. Richard and Linda Thompson's "Shoot Out the Lights" from 1982. Richard Thompson was in Fairport Convention back in the day. Great guitar player and good songwriter. Just a really good album from 1982. So there's 2 on that. The other one, the 5th and final question, is to recommend an album to Julian, which again, heavy metal's not really my music of choice. Nothing against it, just not my thing. So I don't know that there's anything that I can recommend that you're going to be too interested in. But I guess if you like metal, you like guitar, probably. So this is from was this 78 or 77? 77, I think. Marquee Moon by Television, kind of a, I don't know what you call them, a punk, a new wave band, but very musically advanced for punk rock, I guess. And so great guitar playing in this, really good guitar work in this album. Really good album. It's not heavy metal by any means, but if you like guitar and you like good guitar playing, check that out. You might like it. And one other I'll go with, which is, and I could have picked any of their albums, but Funkadelic, their early albums, their first 4 or 5 albums, they had a guy, Eddie Hazel, playing guitar. Incredible guitar player. As far as the great guitar players, when you think of Hazel, was up there with any of them. He just didn't get as much recognition. And Funkadelic is funk, soul, but they're also, I shouldn't have done that, showing a girl's butt there. Funk, soul, rock, just a great band. So there's some really good guitar work in this. Maggot Brain, the album, I don't have it with me. The title song is an incredible tour de force of guitar playing and just a great song. But any of their first 4 or 5 albums with Hazel, and the albums after are good too, but some great guitar work. So if you like metal, I'm thinking you like guitar, there's 2 albums that have some really cool guitar playing on them. So I hope that works, Julian, and congratulations on 100 subs. Hope you get a lot more, and take care, everyone.